So in the lower left corner of the map is the green Protoss, the kind of surprise champion of today so far, Acro, taking out Sterling very swiftly and treating Hyun like he's not Hyun, basically.
Yeah. Hyun just doesn't lose ZVP usually, but Acro showing that he's
Well, I
really
feel
got
like
some talent.
while he did get that Nexus at the main, it was mostly mined out, and he did have the second and third base going. He
Oh
didn't
yeah.
get a lot of the probes, and I feel that was the large kind of downside to that run by. If he had gotten more of the probes, I feel like that could have been a lot better for him. But in the end,
Oh
it didn't
yeah.
really matter as a class. I got just a move to victory.
The big thing about that was he was trying to delay a little bit. I feel like he could have delayed a little better as well, just sort of trying to kite the Zealots for as long as possible. And the big thing, of course, was that he was delaying for the Greater Spire, and then when the Greater Spire finished, all of his Corruptors were actually dead, so he didn't have anything to make the Broodlords with. A little bit sad, but Hyun, one of those players who can learn from his mistakes pretty quickly, so...
We got some mining harass right now going on by Acro.
He showed that in the last game as well. He's pretty devious with that.
I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's still better than nothing when you're trying to just bother your opponents.
Yeah. We do see the Forge first coming down from Acro again, so it doesn't seem that he likes going Nexus first. If you're not going to go Nexus first on Ohana, you're probably not going to go Nexus first anywhere. This interesting little wall off from Acro, though, he's actually using the pylon as part of his wall. Makes it very susceptible to all-in play.
Well, we could see him
again,
rectify that later on with different things like a gateway. Often we'll see people put their gateway wall up here at the forward ramp. But again, right now it's very open and very vulnerable.
Yeah. We see a couple of Zerglings on the way, 4 Zerglings on the way. Once again, the same sort of thing that's pretty standard to deal with this pylon blocking harass.
Yeah, so Acro, I think 4.5 minutes. We'll see if he can go for the 5-minute mark. Go for that
Dun, dun,
world
dun,
record of oh no, actually failing entirely. So that third does get established.
And here come the Zerglings for the natural as well, so it won't be too long. Hyun may even have this up by the 4-minute mark, Rifkin.
Wow, good golly gosh.
Once again, going forward with a couple of Zerglings, going to try to do a bit of harass. The cannon will probably not be done, but 2 Zerglings can't do all that much, so it's not going to be the end of the world by any means.
Yeah, you really need to get more units in there. And
Oh man, Acro's actually supply blocked though, after losing that forward pylon.
oh, and the cannon will snipe one of these Zerglings, and one Zergling is not a threat. Probes can pick that off, no problem.
This is a huge blunder by Acro though. He's supply blocked by 4, and he's only making one pylon, so he's going to be supply blocked again pretty quickly once this is actually
Both the Nexus completing, he should actually be pretty
that's
okay.
true. That's true.
But this Zergling, in the meanwhile, is, while not causing damage, keeping an eye on Acro's base. Of course, the Zealot can't clean this up. Acro has to wait for a Stalker because Zerglings are just so fast, even without speed.
Yeah. Trying to bait him down into the cannon with the probe. Nice little play by Acro, but not successful. And he is going to be able to put on a tiny bit of harass here, forcing some denied mining time with this Zergling as well.
Yeah, really annoying, but I mean, it's doing its job, and that's just annoying Acro. That's all this one Zergling is meant to do. It's not here to do hardcore damage.
I guess you could say that the probes are trying to Acro the Ling.
I don't know.
It was a pun on aggro.
Oh, I thought there was like some macro joke, and I was like, that doesn't really apply, but okay. So Hyun does very comfortably have these 3 bases. He's in that position he wants to be every game. I don't think there's really a way to play against Hyun and keep him from getting that 3rd base up. I mean, you'd have to go really cheesy, do some like old school proxy warp gate combined with a cannon maybe, otherwise I have no idea how else you would shut him down. And that's
We
certainly...
did see him go for a very, very late Roach Warren in the last game, and I feel like after seeing that, Acro could utilize +1 4-gate Zealot aggression off the Forge Fast Expand. That's sort of fallen out of favor a little bit because Zergs know how to deal with it. Just the change in the standard Roach Warren timing from 7 minutes to 6 minutes 25 just really helps to shut that down really, really easily. But we did still see Acro go for, Hyun rather, go for a very, very late Roach Warren in the last game, and he's doing it again, so...
Yeah, and he did...
48 pressure could have been successful, but it's not going to be what comes out of Acro.
Acro did finally successfully take out that Zergling too. Really annoying not being able to place a lot of buildings down knowing that your opponent will see them. But as soon as the Zergling was slight, we did see the Robo facility come down. And right now he doesn't quite have knowledge of it, but he does have several Overlords around the map, so he could move those in at any time he likes. And Acro going for that 3rd.
I can't get over how late Hyun goes for his Roach Warren. 7 minutes 30. This Overlord's going to die as well by the look of it. He's trying to get on the high ground there, but it's not going to succeed. I don't think that is actually high ground.
No, you have to really get over this main part with the, I don't know, the biodome with the tree. I'm not sure. There's actually birds in there too, so I don't know what the deal with
Whoa!
that is.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's weird.
It's kind of weird
But
because
yeah, we.
those are like micro birds too when you
Oh
consider
dear.
the size of a marine.
So this is Hyun's been supply blocked for about 30 seconds, and he only just now started Overlord. So he's gonna have stunted production a tad.
It would be a bigger
Um,
deal if Acro was pushing out with an army force,
yeah.
but one Zealot poking, I don't think Hyun's gonna be in any real trouble. Does have a lot of gases and a macro hatchery coming down though.
Looks like he's aiming for the same sort of play into the mid game as he did last game. And I
Very
feel like
safe
Acro's
yourself.
probably going to go for the same thing as last game as well, because hey, it worked.
I mean, why not? Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it type mentality.
Yeah.
And I love this wall off here at the third again. Just beautiful placement on these gateways and cannons. Going to be really difficult for any sort of run by to happen, but I mean, Hyun, as we saw last game, did manage to get that run by off. Hopefully, if he chooses to do something like that this game, though, he can make it a tad bit more effective.
Absolutely, and we see him going straight for an infestation pit though this game, so he's not opting for the same sort of he was posturing, and I think he wanted to go for a lot more aggression last game than he ended up going for with the
Oh,
roaches.
wow.
So
And look at this, a
Jeez.
fourth and a fifth on the way, too. This is early, even for Hyun. I mean, it's not even 10
Yeah.
minutes yet.
I average one base every 2 minutes.
Zal getting this round off. Only going to catch one Zergling, unfortunately.
Nice little mini micro there from Hyun.
But again, right now, Zerglings are not going to be enough. I mean, a cannon with a couple force fields is more than enough to deter any sort of Zergling hit.
Although, if this little force that Acro has outside of his wall steps one step too far, Lings can get us around on that really easily if Hyun is watching.
Yeah, the last
That
thing you want to do
maybe
is...
see them.
I mean, losing the Immortal would suck, but losing the Sentries would be worse, as these all have a lot of energy on them. But the problem
Yeah.
is, right now, look at this. Acro hasn't pushed down the map. He doesn't know there's a fourth and a fifth down. I mean, if Hyun gets away with this, Hyun's going to be, like, streets ahead of his opponent.
Yeah. Basically, Acro played greedy, and Hyun said, well, I'll out-greed you. So, we have triple upgrades coming for Hyun as well. That's kind of cool. Not something you see every day, that's for sure.
Yeah, Zergling's being deterred from the third right now. We do have Infestors en route, along with two Colossi, double production out of this Robo. That Overseer does get a nice scout off on the base, but he doesn't see the two Robo.
Wow, he has pneumatized Carapace. When did he get that? Jeez, that Overseer's fast. It actually has 125 energy. I'd love to see him go and contaminate one of the Robos.
But he didn't scout them, so he doesn't know where they are. He's got to know there are Robos on the field, though, because he's seen the Immortal.
Ah, I see. Yeah, and he's starting to get a lot of Infestors out on the field. He's going for the Spire now as well, but he's just been droning to his heart's content. It's 12 minutes into the game, and he has 83 drones on 5 bases with 10 gases. 10 and a half. 9 and a half.
Just so much gas on the map, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's one thing to have these hatcheries up, but it's another when you've got that massive bank to just constantly replenish your forces.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't started a greater hive yet, actually. Just because he is going for the Spire. I mean, is he going to go for Mutalisks? That's a
Mutalisks
maybe.
would catch this army off guard pretty hardcore. I mean, last time we did see a very severe lack of Stalkers, but even then, Stalkers alone, really not the best way to deal with massive Mutalisks.
Although, yeah, Mutalisks on this map are so insanely good, and he is going to be going for flyer attacks. He's getting Corruptors out, though, so I think he does want to go for the Broodlords. He just hasn't started the hive yet. Might be a bit of an oversight there on his part. And there's a lot of gateways coming down for Acro. He is going to be going for a big push sometime soon. Let me count the gateways. 16 gateways.
Wow. Well, that's definitely a huge round of warpins. Hopefully he'll have the economy to just constantly supply off 3 base. Big question
Hyun
mark
is
there,
going
though.
for the Lings again, though. He's going for 72 Lings again. And the Lings were sort of a waste of supply in the last game. They didn't do that well. The run-by was good, but... in the actual
The run-by
engagement
even
against this
arguably was
double-
not that good, though.
Yeah, I mean, against double Robo Colossus, Lings are essentially just wasted supply. He's going to be up to 7 Colossi once these next 2 pop. And Investors are great, but...
They're also very weak. That's what it comes
yeah,
down
they
to.
die pretty fast. to Colossi. We do, of course, have the Corruptors on the field, but when you're talking 9 Corruptors against 7 Colossi, the Colossi just don't fall very fast.
Yeah, we don't even have Narrow Parasite for these either. Stalker's blinking forward. Not really to do much, though. I thought we were going to have maybe a bit more poke than that.
And the Colossi starting to fry those Lings.
One thing Hyun is doing behind this...
The BBQ.
Behind this, Hyun is throwing up a lot of Spine Crawlers as well, kind of preparing for that. Well, I'm going to lose a lot of my units. I don't want to be caught off guard entirely.
Yeah, and his Hive is going to be finishing up now as well. He's going to start the Greater Spire right away.
I love this too. With that Overseer up front, he has sniped off 3 Observers at this point.
Wow.
And, oh, that was weird. Force fielding the rocks while they were still alive.
Don't let the rocks get away.
Exactly. Zerglings look like we are going to see this huge swarm try and hit the 3rd. But it's very nicely walled off. In fact, I don't think it's even possible to get in without killing any of those buildings.
Maybe along the side, just south of the bottom gas, but it's going to be tight. And he is just buying time again, though. That's all he's doing here.
No, I don't. It's completely walled off here, Penguin.
Wow, that's nice.
Big force, though, good to get
through.
through. Yeah, again, funneling everything into the main, and all of his forces are out of position. Acro can't quite deal with this accordingly. He will lose some units. Oh, going for the probes this time. Much better choice than the Nexus. Stalkers have been warped in, but Zerglings... they're not really focus firing anything, unfortunately.
Although, if they get the Robo-Bay, that'd be nice, but they're not focusing it down at all. He's getting a few Stalkers, which is kind of nice. He's burrowing Zerglings now. That's nice. That is really
He did
nice.
pick off 21 workers in the process, though. And a lot of the probes at the natural are very, very low.
Much more successful than the last run by. 7 workers last game, 21 this game.
And look at this, he's forced the army here. He's buying himself that time again to get those Broodlords out. His Greater Spire is only just now nearing completion. I mean, this was kind of his blunder last game. He sent the Corruptors in too early. He didn't have anything to deal with this, but now he'll have plenty of time.
And, yeah, he does finally find these burrowed Zerglings. And, yeah, they will die, but this has bought him so much time that there's 12 Broodlords on the way.
Yeah, all it took was a couple of burrowed Zerglings.
Where are the Broodlords morphing? Are they in the main?
No. 4th.
Oh, they're outside the 4th. Alright, wow.
That is just so many Broodlords.
That is scary.
Without a mothership, it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with this. As you look at the army composition, he does have a lot of Stalkers, and of course they can blink. But if those Infestors can live... Oh no, they're being picked off alive! Hyun not paying attention, losing almost every single Infestor. And they were all full energy too. That's so unfortunate. That is a huge loss for Hyun. As now he doesn't have a way to keep these Stalkers in place. We have no Fungals, no Infested Terrans. A blink under these Broodlords. I think we're going to see Hyun get knocked out by Acro. Lots of Broodlings, though.
On that queen. And another blink forward does go down.
Oh, he's just losing so many Broodlords so quickly. Just volley after volley taking out his army. And Hyun would...
Not remaxing on anything, and he's got 5k minerals. There we go, 44 roaches.
We have Neural Parasite on the way, but no Infestors on the field to use that energy. Meanwhile, the 3rd was taken down by this huge hit. And that's pretty critical.
If he can hold this army with these 44 roaches that are about to spawn, he will be in an okay position.
But again, that's roaches versus Colossus. Meanwhile, look at this, just A moving into the base with his... What little paltry force this is doing a lot of damage. This Roach Zergling hit squad. However, there's a counter-huge attack here. These roaches have that surround, but it's not quite enough, as Acro is just frying Hyun alive.
Yeah, Hyun, he's getting Corruptors now. It's going to be enough to deal with the Colossi, but again, the Corruptors are not going to be able to deal with any Stalkers or anything like that, so he looks like he's pretty flustered at this point, but he has taken down a lot of the wall. He hasn't taken down the entire natural just yet, but so much stuff is going down. In Acro's base as well.
Oh, but look at this, Acro putting a Nexus right up here in the north of the map. Even if he loses his base at home, which he will not, he's in a good position to just recover. And I think, with the loss of this base and all that tech structure, Greater Spire going down, Infestation Pit going down, Hyun's got to be like, what the heck, who is this Protoss coming out of nowhere? As Acro is just walking all over him.
Oh, the only tech structure in his main is the spawning pool.
Really unfortunate. Hurts. These Corruptors are in the middle of the field. Gonna pick off this one Colossus reinforcing.
He's trying to gather as much stuff as he possibly can before he actually goes for it. That's definitely the right choice, but he's gonna lose a couple of these Corruptors to Stalkers, and at this point there are just as many Corruptors as there are Colossi.
I gotta say, the big folly of this game, I feel, Penguin, was when he lost all of those Infestors.
Oh my god, that's absolutely, that's
He needed those
that was
fungals to keep
painful.
the stalkers away from the broodlords. If he had those fungals, this game would have gone in Hyun's favor 100%.
Absolutely, he had 12 broodlords on the map. It was going to be an unbeatable army composition from
Actually, this is
Hyun,
one of those
losing those
few games I've seen broodlords defeated without the use of a mothership.
That's true.
But just a slow dwindle down now as Hyun. GG, well played. So Acro